Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Portsmouth Redevelopment and Housing Authority, PRHA, Board of Commissioners meetings are held on third Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. All meetings are conducted at PHR's main office, 3116 South Street, Portsmouth, Virginia, 23787, unless otherwise noted. All members of the public are invited to attend. Ms. Kirsten, would you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Commissioner Morgan? Here. Vice Chair Cross? Here. Commissioner Pickens?
Here.
Commissioner Prince?
Here.
Commissioner Wright? Commissioner Wicks? And Chair Williams.
Present.
We have a forum.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you could speak up just a little bit, because I don't know if it's just me, but it's on this end. So.
Yeah, my little friend in the back said she heard it, but I'll speak up for you. The minutes for the previous month's minutes were emailed to you earlier. Are there any corrections to the minutes? There being none, the minutes are approved and distributed. The only mark I had was I had the opportunity to attend the State of the City on May 2nd. May 2nd. Commissioner Pickens was there, Commissioner Wright was there, and he was very well attended. I was impressed with the mayor's performance.
I was there also.
Were you?
Yes, I was.
Did not see you, Ms. Morgan.
Yeah.
I love Ms. Morgan.
When we are there, she.
Oh. Okay.
They put you at the wrong table.
Oh.
Yes. I didn't see any of you. I thought I was the only one there. Yes.
Oh, they said you're drunk, I'm gonna have to talk to them about that. We're not gonna tolerate that. Ms. Morgan was there also, he did an excellent job.
Yes, he did.
What I was extremely impressed with was all of the mayors from all the adjoining cities were present,
Mhm.
and I was extremely impressed. I don't see any of our council members here. I did talk to one earlier today, and she said she
Right.
would probably be here, but she's not, so, but if she comes in, she's running a little late, so if she comes in, we'll give her an opportunity to speak. Yep.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
Just a few brief updates. I had the opportunity to attend the city council meeting yesterday for our extension request for Twin Pines development. So everything went well. They passed our request unanimously, so we're excited about that. And so we can start construction November on Twin Pines. Also, as a part of their budget approval process on Tuesday, they also awarded Twin Pines $400,000 from the Community Development Block Grant Program. So that's additional money that we'll have for that project as well. So when our liaisons come in, I would thank them, but we certainly appreciate their support. We did open up our wait list for Lexington seniors April the 21st through August 24th. We had 174 applications. So we'll begin scheduling them to come in within the next 30 days so we can determine their eligibility. And we look forward to leasing in August.
So is it still open through August? Or was it just in
It
April?
was just April,
Okay.
right, just April.
How many units is it?
105. So we got 174 applications for 105 units. So it's a good feeling. Most of them will get housed, pending their eligibility.
Oh, you don't have to do the audit.
No, so everybody made the wait.
Excellent. Any additional questions of your question?
Right.
You have a financial and audit update?
Yeah, so presenting our financial and audit update is Ms. Stephanie Riddick. She is our senior staff accountant. I had shared with you all last month that our CFO, Ms. Sterling, is out on family medical leave back, so Ms. Riddick will be presenting the financials today.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Right,
Still right,
so I have to use the financial reports just for Q1 of 2025. My name is Stephanie Riddick, and I will be filling in for Shannon. Today we'll be going over, financial highlights, the overview, financial performance, audit updates, and then I'll allow any questions that you all may have. So just the highlights, the statements that are going to be reviewed today, they are unaudited, for the first quarter, January through March of 2025. They will be representing 3 months of operations for the properties and funds, such as HDB, CLBC, and our management. And all of the entities that being reported on, they're in the same time frame, all ending in December of 2025, or I should say this first quarter, March 2025, eliminating any gap time issues. So for our federal program, CLCC, this is just a quick overview of the financial packet that you have.
And this is in your, book binders. Yes. Okay.
CLCC realized less expenses from the previous 2024 Q1. It is a slight decrease in our management fees that we received from, the LIPHs. They receive management, asset, and bookkeeping revenue from the LIPHs. And this should increase as the rents have recently increased, excuse me. Management in the Q1 with a profit. They also received profit from the sale of the properties and repayment of King Square mortgage with interest. They took over King Square's mortgage and we're paying them back as a intercompany loan. The losses that you will see in the financial packet, the funds are low enough to be covered by management profit. HCB realized a profit for both admin and their HAP reserves. The LIPHS subsidies, they are funded by the public housing subsidy and mandated to be funded as an as-needed basis. So as you can see in your packet, Seaport Square 1 actually is at a loss, but we're able to pull money over from the subsidy account and break even. Funding that was decreased from Fort Swanson has stopped since January 2025. And funding for the remaining LIPHs have remained constant with the 2024 amounts that we were receiving. All properties have realized a profit for Q1 2025 besides the 2. And all the properties have decreased their expenses from Q1 and are within a good profit margin from the expenses of all of 2024. They also, excuse me. Also, rents have increased, so the forecast amount for the remaining of the year should increase all around, including COCC and management.
Do we have across the board increase on rent or
I believe we
Yeah.
did increase all of the properties.
what was the percentage of that?
It depends on the property, and we also have to do a rent reasonableness. Ms. Jenkins, if you want to speak to that.
No, I mean, I just wanted to know if it was across the board.
Yeah, so we did a property increase, just like on the private sector,
Okay.
all of the rents are going up, and so we increased our, rents as well. And it's across the board, but there's still a max because they're tax credit properties, so we can't go over certain amounts that Virginia Housing has set for us.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
We will be doing an overview. So on your financial packet, you'll see on the third page, like a dashboard. I broke down the current ratio, profit margin, and then you also have a bar chart to view for comparison for budget versus actual. I also listed the properties that actually realized a profit and those that had a loss. And as I mentioned before, the Seaport Square is covered by the subsidy monies that we received. And King Square in Lexington is consumed by management profits. All right, and if you guys want to take a moment to review the financial packet, it includes the balance sheet, income statement, and as I spoke about the dashboard. As far as the audits, the 2021 audits have been submitted to the auditors, are currently in their possession. Shannon actually has a call with them next week to figure out what we need to do to finish wrapping up the 21 audits. And I believe we're fairly at the end. They were talking about a projected date within this month. Property audits, they're currently being worked. Projected date of all of the properties to be done by October 2025 or last year's 2024 audits. And do we have any questions?
Commissioners, any questions?
I know this is a lot to digest, so, you know, we review it for these packets. You know, if you have some questions, you know, next month we can be available.
But you said
to
they,
answer them.
so all the audits be caught up,
The property,
that's the property one.
yes,
You know, we have the agency audit, then we have the one that we have for each property as well. So the property audits will be caught up. We're still lagging on the agency audit. So we'll have 21 and 22. Hopefully we'll get 23 done all of this year.
Okay.
yes,
That's the plan, right?
yes, it is.
Any additional questions?
Just, did we have a property that broke even without a subsidy?
All properties receive funding, so it would be not a break even. It's either for profit or under profit, or considered a loss.
Thank you.
No problem.
I did read the financials. Very well done.
Thank you.
The youth build program.
Yes, so Miss Brittany Familton will come up. She's our resident services manager. You all asked at the last meeting that we have someone come and present from Youth Field, the exciting work that they have been doing. You know, that they're hoping to move forward on that home, on London Street. And so we're working with the city now to, get through the Historic Preservation Commission, with that. And so we'll let you share.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for the opportunity to speak about Youth Build. We received the grant in 2023, with the goal of helping students between the ages of 16 to 24, who have dropped out of high school, with the goal of increasing their education. The education, training, we partner with Taiwan Community College, Portsmouth Public Schools, QED to get a construction plus credential in cableway inspection because we know the area that we live in, is fueled by the water. And so some of our students may want to go into the maritime industry, so they'll get those certifications. And as Ms. Winston discussed about the home that we are hoping and wishing that we're able to build on London Street. And so we have one of our students here that's actually going to do the presentation. She's worked really hard to present the home to you all, to talk a little bit about herself and how long she's been with the Youth Build program. So we have Miss Michaela Culpepper.
letting me speak to you guys today. I will be presenting our youth field construction project and, I just got this, okay. We will be building, a house on 605 London Street, Portsmouth, PA, in Old Town. So youth field is looking to build a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house in Old Town, Portsmouth, PA. Total footprint now is 23 by 48 with 2,208 square feet. I'm sorry. The home will feature tongue roof porch decking. The home will feature 2 wall lights at door. The front door will be aligned with exterior staircase. We will ensure all windows align properly in proportion. The home will feature a driveway moved closer to home in keeping with a historic pattern. So this is our blueprint of our home that we are willing to build. Are y'all guys? Okay. This is the details. Well, can I get a little bit closer so I can read all the details?
You wanna come with you?
You wanna set that up?
You wanna just turn that around?
Oh, well, it's okay. We will have a herding shingles, and we will have windows with trims on it as well. And, that's basically, oh, and we're going to have our driveway, but this is gonna be whole brick, so. Yeah, that's basically gonna be our details for the house right now.
Which side is your driveway gonna be on?
I believe it will be on the right. Yeah, right, okay. This is our angles of the house. This is of course in the front. This is on the side, the back as well, and this is the other side of the house. This is a picture of us up in a construction site with Trent, actually the one that you met, in our last meeting. And we was at a construction site that they were showing us the blueprint, and that will also help us with building a house now. And I am done.
What do you do in the construction business? What do you do? Do you build?
Oh, I am working to build with them. I am also looking forward to doing a welding.
Well, okay.
Yes, but the age that I am right now, I am 16, so I am just, working forward to that. Like, I'm not just
Yeah,
gonna be up
yeah.
here because of my age, so yeah, I'm working forward to that.
Well, good for you, because the shipyard has tons of welders.
Yeah.
They
Thank
need
you.
welders on their ships.
Chair, first and foremost, full disclosure, I'm the chair of Historic Preservation Commission, so I want to get that out. Thank you very much, and I hear that your family's here, if you would introduce them.
Yes, my mother is right here. And my 5-year-old sister.
Is there a plan to have representation from them on Tuesday?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So we're excited about this opportunity, with the youth. And I love seeing females in the construction, trade as well. So we have a couple of, that's working through the youth build program. And so we just need to get this house through the city, but if, we're gonna move forward and we're gonna build a house somewhere. So thank you again, and you did an excellent job.
Y'all meet this Tuesday?
Next.
Next Tuesday.
Coming.
Coming Tuesday. I'll be there.
Do we still have properties in Parkview?
No,
Because I didn't look.
no,
Okay.
we have elsewhere, but not in property.
Because this would be a great thing for a Craddock, Truxton area, if we have anything out there.
Nothing in Clara.
Okay. I have nothing else. Thank you.
You'll take any donations of property.
Yes.
Next,
So, Mr. Holmes, come on up.
come on.
So you shared with us, I think it was a couple of months ago,
Yes.
the plan for Lexington seniors and the naming and Tell us what you came up with your group.
All right, so good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for the privilege of being able to come back and share. Again, as one who lives in the Park community for right about 13 years, just with the privilege to be able to pull residents back together. And so we were fortunate to be able to have both in-person and Zoom sessions where we could gather with individuals to be able to, again, discuss this wonderful opportunity. And again, the purpose of today's presentation is to share the findings and insights gathered from the recent focus group session centered around evaluating potential name concepts for Baltimore Redevelopment Housing Authority Lexington Senior Build project. There's a photo of some of the in-person. You may see one of the individuals from your board. Mr. Pickens had an opportunity to share with us. And let me say, over these 16 individuals that participated, it ranged from people who moved there in 1960 all the way into the 2000s. So you saw that wide range of thought, ideas, and experiences come forth. It was good that Commissioner Pickens was there as well, because we had one particular photo in which there was fencing that was in between the housing complex, in between the buildings. And many of those who had lived in the early years wondered why that was there, because they had never experienced that. They came there in a time in which it was more of family and community, and they could free flow between the apartments. And one of the things that I think, again, as we talk about some of the questions, that theme came across more and more in urban conversation, that people felt like family and they were unified. Wide ranges of experiences they talked about, from the days in which were rain heavy and we would get inner tubes and float down the street, to who had the best Apple Jacks in the community and all those wonderful things in those years of sharing. And so it's a good experience, and you can see the history in the conversations, especially for those who came in the early years. Most of those who led the homes were older individuals. And so again, that sense of family and unity was celebrated more, all the way to the moments in which the community was demolished. You can see again that kind of trend in conversation. I'll go here. And so here's some of the questions that were captured. If you could capture the essence of Lincoln Park in a single word or phrase, what would it be? Community, family, love, relationship. The memories really came across in conversations with individuals. They felt that sense of being able to go to one another's home and to be able to share and experiences with them. How would you describe the spirit of Lincoln Park community in a few words? Unity, family, faith. One member who currently lives out in the Harborview section said this was the favorite place I've lived, and I lived in many places. But Lincoln Park gave me the essence of who I am as a person. What qualities do you think the new senior community should represent? It's a peace of mind where one could live and feel safe and in harmony, and things of that nature. That was all celebrated within that community to feel like a neighborhood. And so the thought started to permeate, what does it feel like to merge and be able to have that community feel like one? Phase one, along with the senior division that's coming up now, the senior development that's coming up now. How do we incorporate that to create a neighborhood where people have that same sense of feeling safe and being at peace? And how do you want the future residents to feel when they live in this community? Again, safety, residents should feel a true legacy of the area, and people want to feel real community. We even talked about, you can see again the transition of where we would often have flowers and things of that on the porch, to when those things were moved and it was cemented across the top. And so the fresh vegetation and trees and those things, some of that went away. And so that was important to people as they look back to the kind of community that Portsmouth deserves, that we want to live in, that is a free-flowing community where people could really be unified. And so coming out of that,
On the other screen, it came on.
Need to click.
just click the screen. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so one of the names that came forth was Orchard. And here's why. When people talk about some of their experiences, one of the things that they often talk about was being able to go out and pick from somebody's apple tree or the mulberry bushes that are lined down the railroad tracks. All these kind of experiences, people came back and said, it wasn't just that we went together to gather fruit to eat, we shared with one another. We became community in a greater way. So this idea of orchard comes forth from that kind of experience. The trees gave more than fruit, they gave connection and stability. And saying in this word orchard, we would honor the legacy of creating community where growth continues, not from branches and blossoms, but from friendships and wisdom, where roots run deep and life continues to bloom. And again, we had some conversation around the orchard at Lexington, and it's simply the Lexington didn't have a real meaning for us other than trying to connect it. About 80% of the people who lived in Lincoln Park during that period lived on Lexington Drive. Would it add information to people? That'll be up for the board to decide, but the word orchard was the one that was living for. We can go to the next one. Oh, reserve. Being that the development is focused on senior living, some 105 units as you indicated for senior living, the word reserves means a place to be set apart for comfort, connection, and continued purpose. This really reflects the space being reserved for living life fully and intentionally. Just as natural reserve protects what is valuable, our community provides a safe and enriching environment. Just like the reserve units in the military, this again playing with that kind of idea of Lexington and the Battle of Lexington and Concord, always ready and always dependable. This is what this community could provide. As well as the word Concord. We changed this right at the end. The unifying word that came forth again was unity. And the word Concord means unity, it means harmony. And also, again, it makes the connection between both Lexington and Concord. The Concord grape, which feeds to the idea of how fruit was gathered together, also plays into that effect. So this name reflects unity, peace, and a shared purpose. Concord is built on the idea that community matters at every stage of life. Here, residents don't just find housing, they find connection, friendship, and build community. Again, the name pays homage to that battle at Lexington and Concord. Is a space where harmony is woven into their everyday life. And so, again, unity, and we're using the word Concord there for where that unity came forth loud over and over again in all of our conversations. One of the things that we did talk about when you came down to naming about individuals, some names came up as Ms. Wade and Ms. Reynolds, people who worked in the rental office and ran the recreation center. Those names came about, but it came about if there were streets developed where those names could be utilized and celebrated for the impact that they made in the community. We did spend some time talking about, again, this kind of wall of fame or wall of history that could be celebrated in the fellowship area or in the common clubhouse area that could pay a tribute to those who have lived in and made some significant differences in the city of Portsmouth and around the world. And so again, it was our pleasure to have this conversation with again many people who grew up there. So thank you.
Thank you, commissioners.
A couple things. I was surprised, Street Pickens wasn't. All those are wonderful. In my small, humble opinion, I wasn't a part of any of that, but in regards to the reserve, for me, reserve, if that was the one that was chosen, it would be reserve at whatever the spot is. That's just my opinion. And the other thing in regards to the tribute wall, I think it would be a great way to pay tribute for folks that are still here and existing from that area to buy a brick and maybe have a pavement sidewalk where you could pay $5, $25, $100, whatever for a brick to have your name on it to be a part of that sidewalk. And those funds could go for activities for the kids, whatever. But to really get that out there, to have Mary, we had the brick wall, of sponsors, but I just think that's a pointed way to get the community involved and have their names involved in.
Yeah, Truxton has a park like that, but has names for folks who lived in the neighborhood. Yeah,
Just my opinion.
sure. The orchard for me stands out. It's just growth. It's just beauty. It just stands out. It really does. Which any other comments?
I want to get a consensus on that, or do you want to?
Well,
make some
um,
ponder on that?
Orchard.
Well, was this the vote?
Well, I don't think we have to have a official vote, we can do a consensus.
Are you all going to make it a firm determination this evening?
If we make it a firm determination, it requires a vote.
That's correct,
Mhm.
because that would be an official action.
Well, can we do a consensus first, and if there's enough, then we'll do a vote?
Well,
Do I need to do a resolution?
Well,
for next?
Ms. Wicks isn't here.
That's what I'm trying.
but there are a lot of people who are not here.
Retroactive.
Right, we should carry it over,
But,
now that the names have been given.
yeah,
And we have two commissioners that aren't here.
And maybe do an email.
but we won't have the beauty of having him do the presentation.
But we have the recording.
Is it recorded?
It is recorded.
Yes, then we'll do the recording.
And we still have this PowerPoint in front of us.
Yeah.
I will share it with you.
Okay.
That work.
So I agree, maybe pass it on to the next meeting.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, email both of those things, so
That's work, that's fine.
So are we at Lexington or just the name? Oh,
It's the pleasure of the board.
Well, that's the pleasure that we'll have to deal with. When we meet, we'll have to decide exactly what it's gonna be. The orchard at Lexington, the reserve at Lexington, Lexington Orchard, Lexington Reserve.
yeah.
We'll have to make that determination once we meet and vote on it.
Okay.
Fair enough?
fair enough.
Fair, okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
It's a non-voting member, but she.
Something just like that. So you know where I'm going. Yeah, we have two action items that we need to deal with this evening, but we need to go into executive session to discuss those prior to voting on those. But before we go into the executive session, are there any more departmental updates?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, if there are any speakers who would like to come forward and speak, this is your opportunity to come and you have 5 minutes. Nobody jumped up and ran through that. That being the case, I move that this meeting be reconvened in a closed meeting for the purposes of a discussion of the award of a public contract involving the expenditure of public funds, including interviews for bidders and offerers and discussions of the terms or scope of such contract. When discussion in an open session would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating position of the public body, specifically concerning roof replacement and security services, pursuant to Virginia Code, Section 2.2-3711, parentheses A, parentheses 29. Chair's in need of a motion.
Motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed? Then in executive session.